Alrighty, so UFC Josh Emmett versus Ilia Topuria 2.0 has taken place, and we're just going to do a quick recap of that event. Year of 2026 is year of accountability. I'm an MMA predictor. I do predictions on every single weekend or every single UFC event. So if you feel like sticking around, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Stay tuned for all my picks and predictions. And, year of 2026, year of accountability, okay? We've had some misses, okay? UFC Fight Night Sean versus Fluffy. It is what it is, But we did bring it back, and we are currently in a weird wishy-washy where we're kind of negative one event, then we're positive, then we're negative, then we're positive. Last event we were positive, 7-6, not the greatest positive event. There was, again, a lot of bad decisions. Now, some of these have probably had some notes here. I've written down some notes. Fighters are dumb. That's a different one. But, yeah, that event had a lot of bad decisions. I don't know if a lot of people tuned in to Kevin Vallejos versus Josh Emmett. Bro, Charles Johnson, I thought lost that fight against Bruno Silva. All right, I like Charles Johnson. We like seeing him in the win column. I thought he lost that. What was the other one? There was another bad decision. Oh, Eric Anders brought Tavares. Don't know how the fuck you give Eric Anders all 3 rounds, but the judges gave it to him. So that was a bad decision. So I would have been right there as well. And then there was another one that I can't remember. So there was 3 bad decisions. And if they went my way, aka my predictions, I would have been 10-3. Okay, so but there was bad decisions. We're gonna put that as the record. That's how the record goes. My hair's a little messed up. I did just come off work and I had a Big Mac. And yeah, but yeah. So that was a pretty rough bad decision event. Main event. The main card was good. Before the main card, I was falling asleep. But the main card was pretty good. Kevin Vallejos did his thing. And then all the other fights, the Blagioki one was okay. What was the other one? Oh, Andre Philly. That's another one. Andre Philly, Jose Medina. Genuinely, I thought Andre Philly won that. I would have been wrong there, so my record would have been a little bit worse. But yeah, so in general, I was up in that event in terms of picks. I don't bet. I don't gamble. If you gamble, I'm not gonna, I don't discredit it. You can do whatever you want. You're probably an adult if you're gambling, okay? So, yeah, we're gonna move on to the UFC event. Movsar Evloev taking on Lerone Murphy here. So, let's get into the predictions. You know how this shit goes. This is gonna be my picks and predictions based off of ball knowledge of the card. Some people like using a lot of research and everything. Respect to them, the gurus, the bedtimes, Ronin Ronin MMAs, the Kenny Okoyes, whatever the fuck you want to say. All right. Those people, they do the research. I rely on ball knowledge. I've been watching for about 4 years, top to bottom, every single fight card. Let's get into the predictions. And yes, I do take my predictions seriously. Not when it comes to women, though. Yeah, so, Melissa Mullins taking on Luana Carolina. Well, let me just take a peek at this card. Shit. Wow, this is... Wow. Oh, this is shit. What the fuck? And then we got Roma Dilidze, Christian, Leroy Duncan, and then it gets better. What the fuck? Dude, I saw the main card of this, and I was like, yo, this is kind of fire. Holy shit, no wonder why they're hiding this fucking prelim. Oh my god. Anyways, but yeah. Women's fights, I don't take fucking seriously. Heads on the tails. Heads on the left, tails on the right. Jesus Christ. Heads on the left, tails on the right. We're going with Melissa Mullins here. I mean, she's English. It's English judges. They're going to give it to her 29-28. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Luana Carolina is actually not an awful women's fighter. So realistically, she probably gets this one done. However, we're going to go with the coin. The coin was positive last event. Went 2-1 on women's picks. So hey, we'll trust in the coin. We trust. Okay, so that's what's gonna be the theme for the women's fights on this one. Yeah, it seems. Wait, people are high on Mullins? That's very interesting. Of course I'm right. Actually, that's a bad sign. Capology predictors are some of the fucking worst I've ever seen. Yeah. Whenever I don't know the fighters very well, they're typically the worst. But we're going to move on. You know, another just banger. Heads on the left, tails on the right. We have heads on the left. We're going with Chanelle Dyer. Kind of sucks I'm not going with the Oliveira. But you know, we like our young women, you know, for prospects and everything like that. She's from England. Who did she just lose to? She lost on her contender series, and she's getting given a UFC contract. Okay. Not off to a great start here. Okay. Not off to a great start here. How the fuck is she minus 350? Is this the one that was like that elite striker or something, and she just ended up getting boxed up? I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I think I actually watched this fight. And it was a fight where she was supposed to win, heavy favorite going into it, and she got fucked up. I'm pretty sure she got dropped, or she got, like, wobbled really, really bad. But she's supposed to be a really good striker, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, we're going to trust in that, I guess. We're going to move on. Shamrock versus Abdul Karim Al-Salwadi. Yeah, this guy's coming off a loss, right? Holy fuck, this guy hasn't fought, man. Jesus. Narulo Aliv. Wow. Guys, this is a tough one. I am gonna go with... Both of these guys lost their debut. One hasn't fought in 2 years. But he's younger. And he's Palestinian. The Pride of Palestine. Why do I feel like I've seen that so much? As like a nickname. Reach disadvantage. Height disadvantage. This is lightweight. Yeah, we're just going to go with the Englishman here. I'm going to go with Shamrock here. Yeah, I mean, these are two fucking bums, realistically. And one of them lost their debut 3 months ago, and he's trying to get back on the saddle. I respect it. This guy hasn't fought in 2 years. I guess there's probably wars and shit going on where he's from. Actually, wait, Dallas, Texas. Huh. So, that's probably... Was that where he's born? I'm confused. Regardless, I'm assuming this guy's dealing with, like, life shit. I think that has an effect in the gym, and I'm just going to trust the guy fighting at home on his card. Yeah, representing the United Kingdom, even though he's from Dublin, Ireland. I'm assuming that's what that means. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Shamrock here. I don't remember this. Narulo Aliv. I really don't remember this fight at all. So I'm going to say it was boring. Because if it was fun, I feel like I would have remembered it. But reach advantage. Wait, I think it's coming back to me. He got laid on, right? Oh, he got like out-grappled, like heavily out-grappled, right? I think that's what it was. He was doing really well. It was, I think, short notice, I wanna say. And he just ended up getting laid on. I feel like I'm remembering it now. It's coming back to me. Yeah, Shamrock, he was doing well, right? Like, his striking was really, really good. It's just he ended up just not being good enough on the ground. I'm remembering. I'm actually low-key remembering this fucking fight now. Okay, ow, that fucking hurt my knee. Jesus Christ. I'm low-key remembering this fight. I think Shamrock was good. His striking was good. I think he was getting cracked as well, if I'm remembering correctly. If I remember correctly, I was on my way to Costco when this fight was going on. And when I got home, I was watching the highlights, and then I rewatched it. Yeah, so I'm going to go with Shamrock here. I think he's low-key good. I'm not dude, if you're new to the channel, I don't trust these motherfuckers who don't fight. That speaks to me injuries. Inconsistency in the gym. in like you don't have your heart into this, you know. Like I don't trust these guys that don't fight, and especially coming off a loss, especially off a finish. Like I don't trust it. I'm going Shamrock by KO to BH. Shamrock actually low-key had some good striking, if I remember correctly, in that fight with Nurullo Aliyev. And Nurullo Aliyev hasn't lost. So, I mean, it's kind of just like, it's a good loss in hindsight. Moving on, Louise Sutherland taking on Brando Peric. Interesting. Yeah, isn't this the guy? Yeah, he showed up short notice. I think this is the one I'm thinking of. He showed up short notice, and it was like, oh, he knows he's gonna go for a heel hook, and this guy knows a little bit on the ground, so he's just not gonna get heel hooked. And then he got fucking heel hooked. And like a very NPC way, like kind of worse than Kennedy Nzechukwu, to be honest with you. I am gonna go with Brando, this guy, Elijah Ellison. Who? I feel like I just don't like these fat fucks at heavyweight. These unranked fat fucks at heavyweight. I really don't remember them at all. But yeah, Louise Sutherland looked like shit in his debut. Was that his first loss? No, this guy's lost before. Yeah, man, it's just two fat fucks at the end of the day. This guy's looking a little bit yoked in this picture. If I remember correctly, this guy looked pretty fucking chubby when he was in there with Walter Walker, the Neanderthal. But I am going to pick against Scotland, unfortunately. The only Scottish fighter I believe in is Paul Craig, and unfortunately he's retired. So I'm going to go with Parakick here. Round 1 KO. These are two fat fucks. I hope it's going to be a round 1 KO, and we get 20 minutes of ads, which I will be streaming this event, so feel free to tune into that once this event goes live on the weekend. Just saying, if you're looking for some entertainment, feel free to drop by. Alright, shameless plug over. We're moving on. Antoni Turkalj versus Montes That. How the fuck does how does Turkalj have a fucking job? If I'm not mistaken, this guy's coming off 4 losses. 3 losses. Jesus fucking Christ, man. This guy hasn't won in the UFC. I think he's like a boyfriend of like a female fighter or something. I'm not picking this fucking idiot, bro. I'm not picking Turkalj. I'm not picking him in 2026. I'm sorry. This guy barely fights, and when he does, he loses. So I can't trust it. His losses, in hindsight, really aren't... Ooh, the Trayshawn Gore one's pretty bad in hindsight. But when he got whooped by Charles Bullet, that was almost a pity TKO. Kind of just walked into it. He just doesn't do anything. He's not good at anything. I just can't trust it. And listen, if maybe this other guy was like 5'8" and like old, I might pick against him. This guy's a young kid. He looks like he's probably some sort of boxing profession. What is he from? Yeah, Contender Series. I don't fucking remember. But yeah, this guy looks like he's competent and he at least has something. Debut jitters, I get it. How the fuck is Turkalj on this card? He's not English. He wasn't born in England. How is he still employed? Why the fuck do we keep these guys around? What? Anyways, we're gonna go with the other guy to retire Turkalj. You know, I can't wait to hear fucking somebody glaze on commentary Turkalj's toughness or his grittiness or whatever, and really struggle to say anything he does well. His jiu-jitsu sucks. He can get held against the cage. He does nothing on the feet. He's just inactive. He's like every bad part of Chito Vera and worse. Like, dude, he doesn't do anything. There's no danger. He's just a big dude. He's like RDR with no grappling. Like, he's just bad. He is just shit. We're going to move on. I'm going to go KO round 1. Get Turkalj out of here. I'm tired of this fuck. He's kind of tough, but not like tough. Like, if Shara Bullet's finishing you with punches, I don't trust, like, your chin at all. Just saying. We're going to move on. Mario Pinto versus Felipe Franco. Pinto, this guy... Yeah, I was going to say, this guy, like, I remember him being pretty good. Yeah, he beat Jonathan Diniz, which is a good... It's a good win, but it's not really that good. He beat Jonathan Diniz, who's, like, a good striker, and he kind of beat, like, he He did good against a good striker, if that makes sense. But it's heavyweight, so they're shit. Janata, I think, went down a weight class. I think that was no, that wasn't the fight that like made him move down. Am I thinking of the right guy? I think I'm thinking of the right guy, but I think Janata Diniz was that kickboxer. Mario Pinto knocked him out. That's pretty good. Austin Lane KO, good. Is this the guy who was like, oh, I'm going to speak English a little bit. Yeah, fam. And he just like went off like in pure English, like off of Bisping's mic. I think that's this guy. So he's a little inactive, but he is good. Skill-wise, he's pretty fucking good. And at heavyweight, that means something. I don't know who this Franco kid is. I don't care. We're going to go with Pinto. I trust in this kid. He's young, really good. He's at heavyweight and he's athletic, really good. Tall and range, really good. And he's good on the mic. We love Mario Pinto here. I'm pretty sure that's the guy I'm thinking of. If I'm not, it is what it is. It looks like him, though. We're going to move on. Nathaniel Wood versus Chieta. This Chieta guy is, I think, also a striker. Interesting. Why do I know his name, but I've never seen him? I swear to God, I've seen Losane Chieta, or people talk about him. I'm pretty sure he's, like, supposed to be a really good striker. Maybe he was set to make his debut on somebody else. Nathaniel Wood's good. He has been low-key aging in terms of, I want to say skill, to be honest. Like, he's good. Morgan Charrier win is pretty good when he flatlined him and then proceeded to beat his ass after Morgan woke up. Jose Delgado, I do think he won that. Some people thought that was a robbery. I think he won that. But, like, to be honest, man, I think this could be the changing of the guard. Is this? Yeah, this is featherweight. This could be the changing of the guard here. I really think that, because Nathaniel Wood has always been really, really good, and he's put on great performances. But now it's sort of just like, he's not good enough to where you're noticing that difference. Like, Morgan had a really competitive fight, even after getting switched off. Jose Delgado had a very competitive fight, and he almost just got whooped by Andre Philly, which is now a pretty bad look in hindsight. Low key, I think I'm gonna pick Chieta here. I don't know shit about Chieta. I believe I remember hearing that he was a good striker. But I could be completely wrong there. I don't know what fucking organization this is, / organization. I'm a UFC fan. I don't watch LF Nobody Asked. I don't watch One True No One Cares, okay? I watch UFC. I am going to go against Nathaniel Wood here. He's been getting dropped recently. He's been getting pieced up. And his comp that's doing well against him have not been aging great. I don't think Morgan... Nah, maybe Morgan, like, KO'd Nathaniel Wood? Or not Nathaniel... What was that guy's name? Nate the Train? Yeah, Nate Landwehr. I think he KO'd him. Or it was somebody else. I think it was Nate the Train that Morgan KO'd after this. But Morgan also just hasn't really been looking that good in terms of skill. He was losing that fight, and then he got the KO. So it's like, I'm going to trust in the new blood and just see what happens. I wouldn't be betting this fight, especially if you're not like someone deep into the sauce and no technique and everything. This might be one of those weird ones where, like, Chieta just KOs Wood in round 1, and it's just like, dude, this is what happens. I predicted Melquizael Acosta to KO Dan Ige. This is obviously, like, different sort of comparison, but it is sort of that changing of the guard where it's like, dude, sometimes you love fighters that put on great performances and then eventually stop doing it as good. And it's like, dude, they're just going to get pieced up, you know? That's kind of what happened to Bobby Green for a little bit. That's kind of what's been happening with Michael Johnson. He picked up some steam, and now he's probably going to be back in the losing column. But, you know, sometimes you just get knocked out by Drew Dober for being a different skin color. It is what it is, guys. But, yeah, I'm going to go against Nathaniel Wood. I respect Nathaniel Wood. Think he's really good. I am going to trust the new blood and just, I'm going to fuck it, we ball, see what happens. We're going to move on. Mason Jones, Axel Sola. I've heard good things of Axel Sola. Oh, this is the Reese McKee fight. So this guy's going down. Interesting. Huh. Very interesting. Huh. That's very interesting. He did look good against Reese McKee. And I thought Reese McKee was gonna win, but that's just because I don't know who this actual guy was. That was his debut. Yeah, I'm not picking a guy who fights at Ors. Go Gress? I don't, whatever fucking organization that is. I'm not picking a fighter who does that as their debut. Against my goat, Reese McKee. All right, Skeletor stays on top. All right, that guy deserves to keep his job. I don't know if they cut him. He deserves to keep his job. Mason Jones, I'm picking. This guy's tough as shit. He can weather the storm. He can do about like everything. He's good at grappling. Striking's pretty good. He's pretty much always dangerous. Yeah, Jeremy Stevens' fight wasn't the greatest showcase of his skill. But the Balaji Oki one, I was impressed by. Yeah, this guy, like, he doesn't quit, and that's something you like to see in a fighter. I don't know about this Axel Sola guy. He did do well against Reese McKee, but Reese McKee's not, like, great level comp. And now he's moving down in weight class against Mason Jones. I don't necessarily like that. Yeah, he's going to have... Wow, he doesn't even have the reach advantage. He's going to have the height advantage. But I feel like that's just... Dude, Mason Jones is like a prime Drew Dober. Good wrestling, great striking, heavy hands. And tough as shit. Like, Mason Jones might be the modern-day Drew Dober. I think he KOs this Axel Sola guy. I'm going to say clubbing right hand. Round 2 or 3. I'm going to go with round 3 after Axel Sola kind of unloads. Because I feel like we saw it with the Reese McKee fight. I want to say that was a late stoppage in terms of... I don't remember it being round 1. I feel like that must have been round 2 or 3. I feel like it was round 3. I think Mason Jones is going to be completely in it in round 3. And I think he's like... Jones might be down 2 rounds, or it's 1-1 going into the third based off wrestling, even if he's getting, like, outclassed on the feet. I still rate Mason Jones, you know, cutting weight, so that's, like, a cardio disadvantage in my opinion. So I'm going to trust Mason Jones, and we'll see what happens. We're going to move on. Curtis Campbell versus Danny Silva. Who the fuck is this guy? Oh, this is the nerd. I remember watching this guy's fight. This was the nerd. He had a really, like... He had, like, a post-fight speech where he wanted the bonus or whatever, but... I don't think he got it. It was kind of like a not great... Oh, I want to say he landed, like... Oh, I'm remembering it. He landed, like, such a nice shot. And then it was, like, it was a TKO situation. I'm gonna go with... Danny Silva's good. You know, he's lost to the great Kevin Vallejos. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really bad. Lucas Almeida, Josh Kulibau, not great. Not great. This is kind of tough. I'm going to go with Danny Silva here, to be honest. Dude, Danny Silva's, like, good. Like, skill-wise, he's tough as shit. He's got good distance. He might have given... Not Kevin Vallejos' like toughest fight, but it was kind of clear that this was the question mark. This was like, does Kevin Vallejos get ranked off of this? You know? Because he should have like masterclassed Danny Silva, but he didn't really do that. Danny Silva's tough. He's good. Oh, he's got the height and reach advantage. This Campbell guy, I'm pretty sure, is really good in the jiu-jitsu. But from his Contender Series, if I'm remembering correctly, he was getting held against the cage, or he was the one doing the holding. I think he was getting held against the cage, though. I'm going to go with Silva. Silva's, like, tricky. You know, Danny Silva's pretty tricky for a debut. And I don't think it's going to, like, take away any steam off this Curtis Campbell guy, because he seems like he's pretty good. I'm going to trust in a UFC vet who's been around for a little bit, and who's skill-wise all there. Am I going to be shocked if Danny Silva loses? No. If you pick Danny Silva to win this fight, I'm in that boot camp, you know? I don't think it's crazy to say Campbell wins. I just haven't seen enough to be like, he clearly beats a guy like Danny Silva. You know? Like, that's like getting Bruno Silva at flyweight as a debut. Like, I really don't think you just beat Bruno Silva off of, you know, being a flawless favorite fighter or whatever, right? So, I'm going to go with Danny Silva. This could be one of those weird ones where it's like a fucking Goes to the judges' scorecards. Oh, everyone's thinking Danny's up 2 rounds going into the third. Campbell wins the third. And then you hear the scorecards. All 3 judges, 30-27, Curtis Campbell. And you're like, what the fuck are they thinking? You know, Michael Bisping's probably going to be glazing Campbell. We'll see what happens. I'm riding with Silva. Roman Dolidze, Christian Leroy Duncan. Roman is terrible on the feet. His grappling's I'm a little scared of. But he's terrible on the feet. I can't trust it. That Anthony Hernandez loss really showed me how bad Roman Dolidze was. And I knew he was bad. And unlike RDR, where I said I'm not going to be gaslit by him quitting on the stool to be like, wow, he's shit, I am going to allow myself to be gaslit. Roman Dolidze's striking is ass. He's been able to beat people who know nothing on the ground. The KO rib injury, that was also related to the ground. Anthony Smith is Anthony fucking Smith. Marvin Vettori is Marvin fucking Vettori. I am picking CLD. I think CLD is really good. I think these odds are pretty accurate. I think people are going to be like, wow, this is way too wide. I think CLD, these odds are accurate. Like, the only way you really beat Leroy is by being very boring or by switching him off. If Roman Dolidze switches off CLD, like, I'll go bald. You know, like, in my mind, there's no way that happens. Could Roman sort of grind out a decision because he's probably going to have Marab in his quarter? Maybe. I don't trust it. I'm going Christian Leroy Duncan. We're going to go KO round 1 or 2. I don't think Roman's a quitter. I just think Roman is 30. Oh my god, he's 38. I think he's just going to get switched off eventually. CLD hits hard, you know? What's his last loss? Gregory? Yeah, Gregory fucking Rodriguez, you know? And that was sort of a fight where Gregory had to be a little boring in order to beat Christian. So we're going to move on. Iwo versus Austin Lane. I'm going Iwo. I'm not going to... I don't need to judge. Austin Lane's a footballer who's been getting chinned back to back to back to back. He's shit. Only person he's beat is Robelis de Spain, who never has... Robelis de Spain, I don't think, knows what a takedown is to this day. Okay, he's over at karate kickboxing doing whatever the fuck he wants. Okay, have fun there, buddy. This is light heavyweight, so Austin Lane's probably cutting weight. Iwo is good. He's tough. He's chinnable, but he'll make it. He's light heavyweight Earl Smedich. He's either gonna kill or he's gonna get killed, and I can respect a man who does that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Can Austin Lane throw heat? Yeah. Does his striking look like an amateur? Yes. I'm going with Iwo. We're going to move on. MVP, Sam Patterson. Sam has been looking good. I've been shitting on him since his Danny Barlow fight. I didn't rate it at all. He's kind of been doing his own thing. I'm picking MVP, dude. MVP's just too elusive, in my opinion. This guy's really good, sneaky good. I thought he robbed Jared Cannonier. Hand up. I thought he robbed Jared Cannonier. I thought Jared was up 2 rounds. I thought it was round 2 and 3. Go to Jared. Round 1, you might give to MVP. Or it was whatever round that was mostly stand-up, I give to MVP. There was 2 rounds where Jared Cannonier literally held him down. Don't know how the fuck. Held him down. MVP didn't do shit in that round. I don't know how they scored it for him. It is what it is. I'm going MVP. Home turf MVP. I get it. He's Unk. He's one of the OG unks, alright? This guy still fucking got it, in my opinion. Some unks just don't lose it. The Bobby Greens, the Dan Hookers, Michael Venom Page is in that combo. The Jared Cannoniers, they don't lose that. They don't lose their skill sets, you know? Sometimes when they get outskilled, it is what it is. MVP is yet to really be outskilled, other than being held down by a soy boy, Ian Gary. I don't think Sam Patterson's gonna fucking Ian Gary MVP right now. I don't... You have to make it boring, so MVP overextends, and then you take him down, and then MVP makes bad decisions on the ground. That's it. I think MVP has low-key, sneaky offensive grappling. He just doesn't have good defensive grappling. Sam Patterson's tall as fuck, just like MVP. Reach disadvantage. That's normal. It's MVP. I'm still going MVP. I think he's sick. I'm going to be rooting for MVP. I think skill set wise, he does beat Sam Patterson. Could Sam Patterson chin him? Yes, we've all seen the Lima fight back in MVP's prime, where he got shinned really, really badly going into that shot. Sam Patterson could do that. I can so see that. MVP stumbles, falls over himself because he's a little bit older, maybe a little bit slower than he thought, and Sam Patterson clips him. Outside of that, I don't think there's a world where Sam Patterson masterclasses MVP. I'm picking MVP by KO. Early round two, no, late round one. We'll do late round one. We're going to move on. Luke Riley taking on Michael Aswell. Yeah, Aswell sucks. We're going with Luke Riley. He did really, really good. Lad, he's got fucking Paddy the fucking Batty in his corner, lad. Let me tell you something about these fucking English Liverpool, lad. His striking is just fucking elite, lad. He fucking knocked out Bogdan Grad, lad. That's a good fucking aged win, lad. Not even fucking Naimov or whatever the fuck that other guy was could fucking do that, lad. Yeah, mate. It's Luke Riley just by KO. Dude, Michael Aswell sucks ass. Like, this guy's pretty bad. Yeah, lost to Belagioki. That's not looking good in hindsight. By decision. That's also not looking. Michael Aswell, bad cardio. Kinda tough, I guess. Not striking's really not there. He doesn't really have speed. Grappling, not really there. He's kind of got like decent offensive grappling. Yeah, good fucking luck doing that to Luke Riley. I think Luke Riley's just gonna piece this guy up. Luke Riley's fast too. We're gonna move on. Yeah, like round one to any round. Luke Riley KO. I'm gonna go with round one, back to back. We're gonna move on. Most of our Evloev, Lerone Murphy. I've yet to watch any predictors predict this. I will respect anyone who's picking Lerone Murphy. But let me just say this. I do not like both of these fighters. I remember I was in the fucking break room of my work watching Lerone Murphy, Gabriel Santos, whatever the fuck he fought. I thought he lost that fight. Since then, every single fight I've seen this guy have, I'm like, dude, this guy, like, he kind of sucks, low-key. And recently, I've been picking his fights perfectly. Aaron Pico sucks. That guy was a bum. Josh Emmett, I knew he was going to win just because it's a style mismatch at the end of the day. Lerone has become a really good Leon Edwards. And I mean that in terms of the IQ, in terms of finishing potential, because Leon Edwards notoriously had none. And I mean that in terms of, like, skill. Like, his grappling skill has become pretty high. And if we're looking at the roster and you want to tell me what fighter out of the whole roster has improved the most over the smallest amount of time, you have Kevin Vallejos in like number one. You have Lerone Murphy like right next to him. I think Lerone Murphy has he's blown my expectations away almost every fight in terms of how much better he's looked in every fight. There's some caveats. The Edson Barbosa fight, Edson just didn't throw a kick. Edson had brain damage, and now he's just been having brain damage. Went up a weight class, and now he's 0-2 at that weight class. Brutal for Edson Barbosa. Sucks for the Edson stock. I like Barbosa. If you are picking Lerone Murphy to win this, I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't mind Lerone Murphy being able to scramble out of takedowns, or I don't mind Lerone Murphy being better on the feet than most of our Evloev, if that's your take. My take, I think Evloev, despite him only fighting once a year, despite the Arnold Allen fight being arguably a robbery, Aljamain I don't think it was a robbery. I think at the time I might have said it. I'm walking that back. All right, we're taking a backseat with that one. I don't think that was a robbery. I think that was very like clear. Mozavar. The Lopez dude. This guy's fought two times since Lopez. Holy fuck, man! Just how good is my goat, Diego Lopez? That's my fucking goat right there. Holy shit! And we're taking up a young up-and-comer in Steve Garcia. God damn, I love Diego Lopez. Fuck, man. What a man. Anyways. Mozavar, I don't think has changed as a fighter, though. He's been the same every single fight I've seen him. His ground game is elite, and he's very active on the ground. That is my only reasoning for picking Mozavar Evloev. if this what like if he did stand up with Aljo and barely beat Aljo on the feet, I would have probably been picking Lerone Murphy. I know Mozavar's going to shoot takedowns. I know his grappling is elite. I know he's able to get the back on people that he like, dude. Like out grappling Aljo is pretty impressive. There's an argument to be made Aljo might have like had the better exchanges in the grappling, but the fact that Mozavar, even in 50-50 positions, is winning the position because he's throwing strikes, that is the key difference here. I think Lerone is he's going to be too occupied with getting in a better position on the ground to sort of counteract the fact that Mozavar is probably going to be up in the round. Could Lerone finish Mozavar? Yeah. Arnold Allen basically did, until they just made up the fact that fucking Mozavar had two hands on the ground and was a grounded opponent. That was bullshit. But Lerone Murphy, in some respects, is kind of like a better Arnold Allen. Yeah, he's kind of like a better Arnold Allen. I personally think Evloev is going to make this boring. I think this is going to, like, coming off last night, or last event, I think this is going to look like oral by Chris Curtis. I think Lerone's going to have the better stand-up on the feet, and people are going to be giving, like, respect to Lerone for being good on the feet. I think Mozavar is just going to get this to the ground. Once he gets it to the ground, oh, Lerone got up, and now he's down again. Oh, Lerone just got up. Oh, Mozavar's got the back. Oh, he finally got to space. It's round 3. Let's see what he can do. And Mozavar's got the back. He's up 3-0. Lerone needs a finish. All right, Lerone. Yeah, you got to get this finish, buddy. You know, you got 2 rounds left. Sitting on the stool at the end of round 4. Fuck, Lerone. We're down 4-0. You got to get this KO, buddy. You got to finish him. You got to finish him. And Mozavar goes out there, gets a takedown, and the parlays are cooked, you know? That's what I think is going to happen. I think Evloev by decision is the most likely scenario. I think it's just like Lerone's really good, but when you want to talk about skill, if Aljo in terms of grappling skill is one step below Mozavar, as we've seen, there's no fucking way Lerone Murphy's out grappling Mozavar in any position. In any position. And if he does, I'll eat my words handedly, okay? I'm putting respect on Lerone's name. I rate his chances of winning this. I personally just don't see it happening, okay? But yeah, my pick is going to be Mozavar Evloev. I used to not like Lerone. I've got more respect for him. I used to not like Mozavar at all. I've got a little bit more respect for him. I'm going to be picking Mozavar Evloev. I don't mind people picking Lerone. I've already said my piece. But yeah, that's been the video. If you made it to the end, make sure you stay tuned for that live stream Saturday. All right? I'll see you there, buddy. Yeah, if you made it to the end, everyone, thank you for watching. And as always, hope you have a good day.